Hello all you Wookiee Warriors, how you guys doing? So in this video I'll be showing you guys how to beat Laurence, which is, well, it depends on how you go about it, but in my opinion I consider this like the second boss. Even though he's technically optional, you don't actually have to beat him, but you know, what the heck, you know, this is this is Bloodborn. Sorry, I don't know, I've been playing Dark Souls too much, that's probably why. uh, but this is Bloodborn, why not beat all the bosses? So this boss is relatively similar to a cleric beast, with some fundamental differences. One, he is not lightning, he is not base, he is fire based. So he does do fire attacks, but his moveset, the first state of his the boss fight is going to be very beast-like. Now, when you get him down to half health, what basically happened is his lower half pretty much blows up, and then he will start coming after you with he'll just kind of crawl around you. But the problem is with this boss fight, and it's very problematic, is if you not if you he will basically leave a lava trail, so if you are not careful, he will pin you and you'll take a lot of damage. Aside from that, the boss fight is fairly manageable, but it gets annoying and a pain in the butt. Now, I think you have to rescue him. I think. Because I think there's a NPC which you can summon. I've actually summoned him a couple times because of how much of a pain in the butt this boss can be. But I'm going to try to beat this boss. No NPC, no summons. As usual. I don't think this boss really has a particular weakness. And an enemy just died. I think there's a NPC which you can summon, which is like, I think you have to wait for the boss fight to actually trigger before it will show up. You can summon the Constable, sorry. But just to kind of test things for you, I will go in here with some buffs, like here's some bolt paper and arcane. Just to see how much, just to show you guys how much damage it does with the buff versus without. Alright, so I'm gonna try to do this on my first go, because I unlike like Ludwig, I think that was like my fourth, like I had to do like 4 or 5 attempts. But as I said in my last video, I'm not gonna delete or edit out my mistakes or my deaths, because just like if you guys were playing this and you died, it's a way of showing you guys what to do, what not to do. And that's pretty much my definition, or at least my idea of what a walkthrough / guide is going to be. Because I'm not a professional. I do this for strictly fun, but I want to share my knowledge and my knowledge with you guys. I was going to say wisdom, but I don't know how wise I actually am. Alright, so let's get on to the boss fight. I'm going to start with bolt paper. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys how you get to this fight. So, it's gonna require you have, let me see here, key items. Should be in the key items. Yes. So you're gonna need Laurence's skull, which you get after you beat Ludwig. So how you get this is you basically walk on the elevator, and you walk off. And it's going to bring up another altar, which his skull is there. And then that's why I'm actually not getting any closer, because once you get closer to him, the boss fight triggers. Because that's one thing he wants. He wants his skull back. Alright, so let's get right into it. I think I said Lauren. It's actually Laurence. Alright, so that's like... Let's see. 539 damage with just using Arcane. Or Bolt. This would be Arcane. 755 damage. So I would say he's pretty weak to Arcane if you want to use Arcane. Try to stay behind him as best you can. I would highly recommend maybe one hit shoot if you can get it. Watch out for those big explosion attacks he does. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't fought this boss in particular, so I don't know all of his moves. Definitely watch out for that. For most of you guys, that'll probably be an instant kill. So please make sure you watch out for that. So you see his melee attacks are just mixed with his fire. Okay, so I'm doing base damage now. I would say go in here with Arcane. I would say he's very susceptible to Arcane. Damn, Laurence, shush! Ah, he got me with the fire. So that is one of the more annoying parts of this boss fight, is that he has an insane amount of AoE attacks. So, like I said before, it's basically a cleric fight, but every single attack he does, even melee, will do fire damage and have some kind of AoE attack. Effect. Which is what this is why I mean the boss fight is fairly annoying, because now I actually might summon for this fight. Now see, here's my thing about summons. I don't ever like just summon. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh well. Those hunters are so helpful. That's why I hate that. But at least they give you some really good files for doing that. I just don't like that attack. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure you could summon a NPC for this boss fight. I just don't remember where it was. Not here. Maybe it's further. Alright, I really don't know where it is, so I'm not gonna obsess about it. Like I said, I'm not gonna overly worry about it. I was just gonna see if I was gonna summon for this fight, but I'm not worried about it. I just remember being able to summon the crucible. Oh, maybe I have to progress a certain bit before I can actually, before he actually becomes available. I don't remember. Because after this one, we have to fight the Celestials. Or, the living failures, if you want to call them that. But basically, they're just Celestials. Alright, Laurence. Yeah. You're cranky because you got woken up from a nap. Excuse me. Excuse me. I absolutely hate that when you're trying to make a recording, your body's just like, hey, time to do something. God, I hate this. I hate the fact that there's so much AoE on this fight, man. That's kind of why I say stay behind him. It's really not easy. For crying out loud! This guy, like I said, these boss fights get really annoying. like I said, kind of dodge his attacks as best you can. Alright, he should be losing his legs pretty soon. I forgot about that attack. I walked right into it. Alright, now we're on the second stage. So this is the part I told you guys to really be careful of. Because you see as he's leaving a trail of lava behind him now. Although he will be a lot slower. So you're like, okay, how do we attack him? Well, my strat is always just go and go. It doesn't matter how long it takes you on a boss fight. Just first, the lava won't do nearly as much damage to you. Get your hits in when you can. Don't get greedy. Make sure you have enough stamina to back out. So really, the best thing you're going to be able to do is attack them from the front. But be wary of that. This is the part I'm talking about. Like, you don't want to like stay in that stuff. But as he's doing that, if you get close enough to him, alright, gonna back away and heal. That lava doesn't stay forever. As you can see, we're almost done. Like I said, stick to his front as best you can. Try to be wary of his attacks. Boom. And I was gonna summon. Just kidding. There's nothing. As I keep on telling people, there's absolutely nothing wrong with summoning in this game. If you're really struggling, I just wish I could have remembered where that summon sign was for you guys. So as you guys saw in the first state, it's really chaotic. Like he has a lot more maneuverability. Basically like your typical cleric fight. But the one kick of that fight is, on one like the cleric beast, if you dodge their attacks, they won't probably hit you. But with him being able to do fire, it's more AoE. So he has much more range. Now, then, but it is manageable. I suggest to stay behind him, but that is one good part. One thing to do is try to stay behind him, but it's not always going to work because he can basically do a sweep attack, which allows him to get behind him. I would just say try to wait for him to do one of those elongated attacks and then go in for one or two attacks. And that's pretty much first state. Is just you really gotta be on par with your dodges. You really gotta be aware of what he's doing. Second state is when he loses his back legs. He doesn't really move around a lot during the first part of that. Or I shouldn't say move around. He's relatively slow, but once he dies, or I shouldn't say dies, but once he gets lower, he will start going a lot faster. But one of the best, if you can do it right, I wasn't doing it correctly, but if you do it right and you missed his fire attack, you can definitely get a pretty good amount of hits in. Another thing is wait for him to do a very powerful, like his big mallet hand. Wait for him to slam that down and then go in there for a 1 or 2 hits if you're close enough. That would be the best thing I would say. Don't try to go in there and get as much hits as you can, because he will wreck your day, especially with his mallet hands. Aside from that, I don't think there's too much other than anything else that we haven't covered. If you want to use the empty phantasm shell, you're more than welcome to. Like when I first started the fight, it actually seemed to do a lot better damage, or for my first attempt. But the second attempt, it just only did 500 damage, which is, I don't know why it would do that. So I would say just go in here with base damage. Don't worry even about the fact, try and put a buff on there. And try to come in here with, I would say, a bare minimum of 20-some flasks, like 23 to 27 flasks. Because you saw I had 27 flasks when I started. I have one blood vial left. I mean, I don't know why. Like I said, I've been playing Dark Souls too much. I had 27 blood vials. I have 1 left. So you're definitely going to need your blood vials. That is the #1 key right now in this fight, is you want to make sure you have as many blood vials as possible. Let me go back to the Hunter's Workshop, and I'll show you guys how to get yourself this many. Because I can already see someone's like, well, how do you get 27 blood vials? Did you cheat? I'm like, no, I did not cheat. So, if you go over to here, the memory altar, where you can place Carol runes. Basically, I put communion on. I have one communion, which gives me 3 blood vials. I have another communion, which gives me 4 blood vials. And then my next one is the Great Lake Carol Rune, which gives me a damage reduction of 4. And then I have the Hunter. Oh, I don't think I actually have anything to actually upgrade it. So I'm just gonna have that. So basically all but pretty much everything is a communion, except for, so I have 2 communion runes, which if you wanted to, you could put another communion on, which would give you like 20, let's see what the other, I think there's only 1. So yeah, so you have a total of 28 vials if you wanted to, but I personally like having the Great Lakes rune on, because it gives you a plus 4% all damage reduction. It means there's no particular type of damage that you receive that will not be reduced. But that's it, guys. The next video we will be doing the live living failures, and then after that we have, so that would be next week Sunday, we have pretty much 2 boss fights left. We have Orphan of Cause and Lady Maria. So if you guys are wondering like what bosses are optional, what bosses aren't, well, essentially there's only 4 bosses in this game, in this DLC, that are not optional. Ludwig is not optional. Lady Maria is not optional. Living Failures is not optional, because you have to fight them before you go to Maria. And then you have Orphan of Cause, which is the last boss of the DLC. So Laurence is the only boss that is optional in the DLC. So there's a grand total of 5 bosses in the DLC. And the thing is, I don't ever skip bosses, even when I'm not doing a particular walk. If I'm not doing a guide or anything like that, I still fight them. Because, you know, that's Bloodborn. Why not? Why would you skip a boss, when you're playing this game that's actually difficult? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Just go for it. But as I said, guys, the next video will be the Living Failures, which will be released tomorrow, Monday, at 1:15 Central Time. 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I hope this video was able to help you guys out. I hope you guys are all having a Wookiee'Tastic day, and I'll see you all on our next adventure. Till next time, see ya!